Hey there, Maximizers. This is Kevin from MaximizingEcommerce.com. I help people build e-commerce businesses that they can be proud of. In this video, I'm going to talk about why it's really important to find other people that you can learn from, feed off of, people that have similar goals in mind. This is what you do. I'm actually here in Fort Lauderdale Beach. That's my iron. Don't remind me to turn it off. Oh, turned itself off there, never mind. But anyway, I'm in Fort Lauderdale Beach for Seller Summit, which is a great conference. I'm actually here for second year. But I just want to show you the view out here real quick. This is pretty nice. I'm actually down the street from where the conference is happening. Unfortunately for tonight, I had to get another room, but that's kind of beside the point. But back to the whole reason of why you're watching this video, which is to learn more about why it's important to connect with other people. So think about this, in your day-to-day life, who are you around most of the time? Now, if you're looking to get into e-commerce or some other kind of side hustle, chances are the people you talk to day in, day out, your family, your friends, your coworkers, whomever that is, most likely they're not going to be people that do that. So what's probably regular to you are people who do other stuff. Maybe they, sorry, I'm messing with this here real quick. Maybe they do insurance. Like my full-time job, I work in insurance, so I'm surrounded by people in insurance. I'm in a hotel right now. I used to work in the hotel business and constantly surrounded by people that worked in the hotel business. I used to work at Walt Disney World and constantly surrounded by people that, think about Walt Disney World. It's what they knew. So when you're constantly around people that do something similar to what you're doing, it's very easy to get in the mindset that that's what you should be doing. Like for example, when I was at Disney, people would leave and go do other jobs at Disney. And that's great. And that was their goal, was to go from one place at Disney to another place at Disney and, kind of grow their career that way. When I was in hotels, people would sometimes, go work for other hotel companies than the one we were working at the time. And now that I'm in insurance, people tend to stay in the insurance business. People tend to stay, and I think a lot of that is because they're surrounded all day long by people with whatever that type of goal is. So if you're looking to get into e-commerce, the challenge is you're going to be surrounded by people that don't do e-commerce. So it's hard to, for lack of a better word, normalize e-commerce or selling on Amazon or whatever the case is, because you're surrounded by people that do other things. The crazy thing is, when you're finding other people that have similar goals, you can feed off of them, and you'd be amazed at how that really accelerates your success. I attribute a lot of the growth I had this past year from 2016 to 2017, that I've had so far here in 2018. A lot of that, kind of year over year growth to last year when I went to Seller Summit, because it was great to be around people. So the thing of it is, when you're around people, there's something about an energy being around people. But maybe you're saying to yourself, well, I'm just getting started, I don't have the funds or I don't have the time to go to a conference. That's great. There's a lot of other ways you can connect with people to make it more real, and then you can share ideas, feed off of one another. So for one is the YouTube comments. Or in Facebook feeds. So if you get to know people in the YouTube comments or in Facebook feeds, you'll find people that will probably end up being friends or accountability partners. Sometimes we got to step out of our comfort zone, get away from the keyboard, and try to actually set up a call. So the next level would be voice. So if you can talk to someone by Skype or by telephone or something where you're connecting with them, the next level would be face to face. So even if you find one person, maybe it lives an hour or two away, and you guys meet in the middle somewhere and kind of talk shop, and here's our goals, here's what I'm working on, here's what I'm struggling with, you're going to find that's going to be really helpful. Taking a step back, even before I get into e-commerce, I was on a forum. It was called Fizzle. There's a podcast called Fizzle, and I met a gentleman there, and he and I we had similar goals of what we were looking to do. We were just trying to figure out the whole, how do you make money online? What are the different things you could do? And having someone to talk to, that at the time we were talking I think weekly or every other week. It's kind of changed a little bit over time, but at the time I think we were talking weekly, and so having an accountability partner, someone that, you know, say, hey, here's what I commit to this week, to here's what I'm going to do for next week. And then you get to next week and say, I did or did not do that. And saying over and over again, I didn't do something, you know, it gives you that uncomfortable feeling. Like you don't want to let someone else down saying, hey, I didn't do this. So I would say, you know, that's a big thing, is, you know, having someone else who's an accountability partner, because when you're in this business, you don't have a boss. Like in my full-time job, I have a boss that keeps me accountable. If I don't do my job, I could lose my job. You know, when you're looking to start your own business, there's no one there. You know, the market will decide, you know, if you're doing a good job or not, but, you know, that takes work to get to that point. So in order to get to that point where, you know, customers are deciding whether they will or won't buy your product, you have to start putting in the work, and it's not as simple as just flipping a light switch. So there's lots of little things you have to do along the way. So for me, having that accountability partner early on really helped me. And this was someone that he and I just happened to be, you know, talking in the forum, like, hey, we had similar goals at the time, you know, and this person we still meet, even though our goals aren't quite as similar as they were 3-ish years ago. But it's been hugely helpful having an accountability partner. I've met other people that I speak to, maybe monthly. Coming to conferences like this is really impactful. So if you are watching this and you're thinking to yourself, I don't have anyone that, you know, is doing e-commerce or something like that, you know what? Find someone. The beauty of the internet is you're surrounded by people that want to do it. They're just not right next to you in your day-to-day life. They're online. So, you know, you start looking in Facebook groups, you start looking in, you know, LinkedIn groups or the YouTube comments, or, you know, go to a meetup locally, and you'll start finding people that, you know, you start chatting with, and, you know, maybe you can connect with them. Now, one piece of advice I will give is never post, and this may sound counterintuitive, never post, hey, I'm looking for an accountability partner. Who wants to be my accountability partner? Or who wants to mentor me? Because chances are you'll get nobody. So what you first want to do is develop the relationship. The most important part is always developing the relationship with other people, because at the end of the day, even though we're hiding behind a keyboard selling stuff, it's still all about relationships. Your customer, even if there's some Amazon customer and you're kind of, you know, got Amazon buffering them from you, you're still connecting with them in one way, shape, or form. You know, when you're finding other people that are doing this, you're still connecting with them. So the key is connect with people, and sometimes that's just striking up a conversation. You know, you could be on a YouTube comment conversation going back and forth. You can be in a Facebook group. One tip I will give you is try to never be the last one or let the other person be the last one to leave a comment. Because if you're constantly going back and forth, and you could always ask questions, because if you ask a question, it's going to elicit a response. Hey, how has such and such worked for you? Have you launched your first product yet? What have you found worked? You know, sometimes people, especially in public groups, are not quite as willing to talk about it, but answer other people's questions, give other people encouragement. Sometimes just saying nice words to people who are like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Say, you're doing a great job, you're taking action, I respect that. You know, sometimes just little things like that are gonna help you find other people that will want to connect with you. So, for lack of better words, you know, to be attractive, you have to be an attractive person. That doesn't mean, you know, the way you look, but just the way you interact with others. So if you start doing those little things, you start planting those seeds, some of those seeds will become nothing, and some of them will grow up to be, you know, relationships with people that you're going to be talking to years down the road. So my big challenge to you, if you're watching this video, is find someone out there to connect with. And if you have someone that you've got, great, find more people to connect with. And, you know, going to conferences is great, but if you don't have the funds or the resources, start with what you have. And right now, if you're watching this video, I know you've at least got the internet. So watch this video, leave a comment down below, or on any of my videos or any channel's videos that have, you know, are in the niche that you want to do. So if it's e-commerce, if it's Amazon, if it's affiliates, if it's starting an insurance agency, whatever it is. Find some sort of channel that is basically serving an audience of people similar to what you want to get to know, and just start striking up conversations with people. A lot of them will go nowhere, but you'll find a few that'll hit, and those could be gold to you. So hopefully you found this video to be helpful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. It helps other people find this. And I'm going to leave you with this beautiful view here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and to say to you, thank you for watching this video, and have a wonderful day.